Manchester United pick up an important 3 points and their first clean sheet of the season in a convincing 2-0 win against Sunderland at home. Let's break down this important 3 points, sir. Sunderland came in flying, one of the best starts from a newly promoted side in over a decade. Black Cats came into Old Trafford, and we, started hot, which we've seen United do, but we took our chances. Mount had a great early goal, and then Benjamin Sesko followed it up with a nice goal as well soon after. Senne Lammens didn't have a ton to do in his debut, but he was steady. He was calming. He looked like a goalkeeper. He looked like a Manchester United goalkeeper. Like I was saying to you, I'm not sure he's the guy, but he's certainly a guy. And he gets his first clean sheet. And he was barking at the defense, which I was really happy to see because I need a general back there. So either way, 3 points heading into the international break calms things down. Amorim probably finding ways to liven things up again in the press box. But either way, headed into international break with a big dub. How we feeling? How we doing?
Feeling good. It was basically sack watch. You lose to Sunderland, you're almost like surely to be sacked for Ruben Amorim. Ineos coming out hard before the game, backing him. Look, it was a solid performance from Manchester United. There's not really much you can pick holes in. It is Sunderland. It is at home. We are expected to win, even the fact that we're questioning losing this game. But the players didn't give up. We were looking for the players to sort of show up and prove a great performance, as well as the manager who put out Mason Mount, which I thought was a brave call, and benching Cunha, and it actually worked. So look, Manchester United get the early goal. We haven't said that a lot here this year. And we win easily with the clean sheet. Senne Lammens, I'm going to get the name right eventually. Great debut. He exceeded my expectations. Wasn't nervous at all. He came out and commanded the box well, claimed some crosses, but we need to see more from him. He wasn't really tested in this match. But all around, a good, calming 3 points heading into international break. Is it papering over the cracks? We have some difficult fixtures coming up. We got the Scouse Bastards in 2 weeks. Have a lot of rest. It's going to be a lot for us to get through the next month or two at Manchester United. And I'm hoping Ruben Amorim can retain his job, but he's making it a little difficult in the press with these comments, kind of gaslighting people about the system. So I think the pressure and the heat isn't quite off yet, but, it was a good result and a good win on the day.
Yeah, and now we need to build from this because it was 3 Old Trafford wins in a row, which hasn't happened in over 2 years, but we still haven't gotten back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Ruben Amorim. He needs to do that. I don't think he's going to do it. When we get back from international break, we will not be giving the preview. We're just doing the recap of the Sunderland match as we head into international break. We have the Scouse Bastards at Anfield when we get back, who have lost 2 in a row now, but it's
a bounce back spot.
It's a bounce back. It's not where we want to be, but now this is about stopping the bleeding. We stop the bleeding, headed into national break. Let's get into that starting 11 for this game against the Black Cats at Old Trafford.
That's right. Sunderland comes to town versus Manchester United. Let's get in that lineup from Ruben Amorim. We had Senne Lammens in net, the debut for the youngster coming from Antwerp. Lenny Euro, Delit, Shaw, backline, Diallo, Casemiro, Bruno, midfield. Delo at left wing back. He sort of inverted him, which I thought was interesting play. It did pin out well for the squad. Mason Mount comes in for Cunha, Sesko up top, and then Mbeumo up front. What do you make of this 11?
I mean, the biggest call that I was excited to see was Lammens getting his start. Time has come. A lot of news we had heard about if he's even a number 1 prospect at the end of the day. I think he showed that he certainly has potential to be so. So great for him to get his first outing as a Manchester United player. Euro as well. I think he's been an absence that we've noticed and Delit back in the kind of the anchor spot. You're not going to do anything with the Casemiro Bruno holding 2, even though I want to see Bruno play further up. And Ahmad, I think every time Ahmad's got the chance to play next to Brian Mbeumo on the right side, they've looked like they could build something. So I was encouraged. I didn't love Delo on the other side, but, beggars can't be choosers, right? Let's get into that game.
All right, jump it in, sir. Break it down.
Like we said, United came out on the front foot. There was an early half scare. Sunderland put in a really dangerous kind of first-time ball that the striker we told you to watch, Isidore, misses. It could have been a big chance. He kind of whiffed at it. It had a funny bounce to it, but it was a dangerous ball, a ball that we've seen United get caught out on before. But United had their moment in the 8th minute. Mason Money Mount, some head scratching why he got the start, but he showed it in his very nice goal in the 8th minute.
And Mbeumo has rolled that in nicely to Mount. And Manchester United take the lead inside 8 minutes. Terrific finish from Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. That's right. Number 7. Everybody remember it. Look, he's a good player. What a touch. What a finish. This was a great goal from Mason Mount. Great ball from Mbeumo as well.
You love to see it. We haven't seen enough of this. Just nice touch, great finish, like you said, from Mason Mount. Calm, easy as you like. And this is what you expect. This is what we expected when we signed Mason Mount, 2-3 years back for big money. Proven what he's worth and proven why the manager continues to select him, because his work rate was excellent throughout the game. The pressing that he offered alongside Sesko and Mbeumo was very effective. Getting on, United were build up ahead of steam. In the 21st minute, Diallo forced the keeper into a really good save after a driven shot from the edge of the box. And then Mbeumo had a really good follow-up effort that was pretty similar coming from that same side of the pitch. And then the 25th minute, Bruno had a really nice scoop shot that was really well saved by the Sunderland keeper. He kind of scooped it out like David De Gea used to keep it a 1-goal lead. But that wouldn't last too long, because in the 31st minute, Benjamin Sesko, our Slovenian Terminator, got his first goal at Old Trafford.
Never went away, these long throws, but they're very much back in fashion at the moment, aren't they? And why not? Sesko makes it 2. Calamitous defending this time from Sunderland. They're looking at each other, wondering how on earth that happened. But Benjamin Sesko has his first goal at Old Trafford, having netted last.
Sesko with his first goal at Old Trafford. He looks like a player. Just great to see him off the mark. He's a quality prospect. He's the real deal. Yorkeresh, people are kind of up and down over him. But Sesko, look, he's going to come good. No matter the manager, no matter the system, he's going to score goals. And wait till this attack is clicking. Because, he's feeding off scraps, and he's finding ways to score. This just shows you he's young, but he's a veteran at the same right. I just feel like he's in the right place at the right time. Great goal from Sesko here.
No, I think we got the right number 9 prospect, because these are the type of goals that you want your number 9 scoring, especially a young one. If you think about the goal that he scored against Brentford, even when we did lose, it was a nice scrappy goal where he didn't give up. This, once again, instincts, flashes right in front of him. He gets there first time, and it's a great striker's finish. And we haven't seen enough of that from Manchester United. The easy goals. He made it look easy. It wasn't an easy goal, but good for him. Gets it. And he also, his held-up play today was terrific against Sunderland. So I think this was the best all-around performance in his young career as Manchester United number 9. Let's finish out that first half. There was a nice save. Lammens' first real piece of action was the 44th minute from a driven Xhaka shot. He made it look easy. It wasn't the hardest save in the world, but I think some of our other keepers...
Was it going in? I
think it was going in, right? It was right there at the post.
Close. It was close. It was a good save.
I could see Onana making a meal of that.
Another tactical note, Sunderland went to a back 5 in the 37th minute, and United were shut down after this, really. So it was very open early. We were all over them, scored the 2 goals, and then the tactical adjustment from Sunderland actually did work and sort of calmed that attack. And, the possession at the end of the day was like almost 50-50. So this move from the Sunderland manager was pretty good, and I think they kind of shored up shop a little bit and kind of plugged the holes.
And it's a very good point, because heading into the second half, not nearly as dominant in the second half from United, but we were largely in control. They didn't have a ton of chances, so maybe that back 5 provided stability, but they also didn't, weren't their same electric self going forward. So the major action was Dogu, and Cunha came on in the 65th minute for Mount, and Delo subs again. 77th minute, Kobe came on for Mbeumo. He's getting in a little bit earlier, but you'd like him to get more minutes given his talent. 84th minute, Cunha did have a nice chance that went just wide from a curling effort. More subs. 85th minute, Maguire and Ugarte came on for Euro and Casemiro. And lastly, there was kind of a last-ditch chance in the 90th minute for Sunderland. Decent save, Lament.
It was a great header. There was a great header opportunity as well.
They had a couple late chances.
They could have put some pressure on United. So, look, the one thing we should talk about is the Manu sub in the 77th. Manu's just not getting the love from the manager. Don't like that, really, because you can tell, even when he's coming on, not happy, generally not happy. He's a great player. We should probably be playing with 3 in the midfield, and he should be starting. But instead, system, we're going to talk about it. Just one note there on Manu, sort of just getting like, you're not the man type of minutes,
They're like, that's kind of throwaway minutes. They're almost token minutes. Like, well, I have to give you minutes because you're Kobe Manu, and I have
you can put me in for that.
I have 3 midfielders. Yeah. He's like, I literally have, I have Casemiro, I have Ugarte, and I really have Kobe Manu as my kind of central midfielders. And like you said, 4-2-3-1, he could play. with all our good players.
He should be
4-3-3. He could play with all our good players. Like it all works. It just doesn't work in this system where you play another center back. So
you gotta get Delo on.
Something's gonna break eventually.
You gotta get Delo on there.
Yeah. He wasn't great on that.
Stat sheet was good. 15 shots, 6 on target to their 3, 51% of the ball. This is kind of what we're talking about. Second half, Sunderland did have quite a bit of the ball at home. You like to see United do a little bit better here. As it relates to the advanced stats, XG was good, 1.81 to their 0.93. But when it came to field tilt, which is basically the percentage of time the ball is in the opponent's final third, Sunderland edged us 50.9% to our 49.1. And the possession, we had just a smidge more than Sunderland. Defensive action height was actually lower. We didn't go as high. We didn't push up as high as we did against Brentford. We were much more structurally sound in the middle of the park with Casemiro doing the job, but you would expect that against Sunderland, right? If you're going to be, the system's going to thrive, it would be against these lower opposition teams. We saw it thrive against Arsenal. Great all-around performance from the players. They showed up. The manager, bold move with Mason Mount, got it right. It was 90 minutes, clean sheet. It worked the whole way. We're kind of nitpicking that, hey, maybe we didn't create enough in the second half after Sunderland made the adjustment. And you can see here in the XG chart over time, everything was really created in the first half and sort of tailed off towards the end where Sunderland kind of had a little bit of life. But we didn't concede that one goal. We didn't make it nervy. It was easy. It was a good 3 points. I'm going to say it's one of our better performances of the season and one that we should win, and we did win. So this gives me confidence, but you got to remember this team is so inconsistent. Can we build on this? And the answer, if you ask me now, the answer would be no. Can we be as defensively sound against the Scouse Bastards? Probably not. And where we see these stats really trail off is sort of when we played the cities of the world, like everything craters to basically nothing. That's where the system is really breaking down for Ruben, Amorim, and Manchester United. So a lot of questions to be asked, but I think we breathe a sigh of relief and have a nice 2 weeks off where we're not just getting manager chop like haterade all day on the internet and just put on the battle down the hatches for Anfield. I think it's just start working, start packing food, start storing things in the bomb shelter because we have to go in there based on how that game might go.
That's it. That's it. Get ready for some hard days coming ahead. This could have gone very differently for this Manchester United side that we've seen. You know, if Sunderland were more on their day, they could have made it frisky in the second half. But I think also we were largely in control and we kept it that way. Didn't create as much as we wanted, but we'll take it. It's a big 3 points because it is a 3 points. Any 3 points is big 3 points these days for Manchester United, especially with a clean sheet. I think that does big amounts of good for Lammens' confidence. Young lad coming in, looking like he already is the number one guy. I like how he just commanded his box. He was shouting at the center backs, which you need to see. It's like they got to be a leader from the back. So this helps. Big storm coming in Liverpool, but hey, like everyone's gonna expect them to win. All the pressure's on them, no pressure on us. We got to win. What does the man? Speaking of pressure, speaking of piling pressure on ourselves unnecessarily, like what is Ruben Amorim gonna say today? Let's hear it.
Hi Ruben, it must be nice to have had a nice straightforward win for once.
Yeah, and a clean sheet is really important. We didn't play well during all the game, but we had our moments. But if you look at the performance, was a team focus, defending well, trying to kill the game in the second half. So I'm pleased with that, and now is to move forward to the next one.
And the goalkeeper did very well today.
Yeah, I think he looks confident in the first game. But the important thing is that the teammates help Senne to have a good game because everyone was focused, not a lot of mistakes against a team that was really comfortable playing football. So we did well. It was a good day for us.
Ruben, a lot of people with Senne have wondered why he's not played before now. Clearly the fans have thought that he should play. What kind of thought process do you go through to decide he's not playing, and then he is playing?
When Senne arrived here, first of all, Altay was playing, and then he arrives, and you can feel it that he needs to adapt. New country, new training, the pressure that you guys put on the goalkeepers are massive. So it was like a little.
All right, here we go. We got excuses from the manager. I like what he said. He said, hey, it wasn't that great. You know, the win could have been better, obviously. And then just kind of glassing up the reason why he's not throwing the young keeper in to the press being tough is a little. I don't love that. So, sir, what do you make? He said we need a number one keeper. He kind of played down him. Now he went to him. He also said it was rotation. It wasn't because he earned it. So he's implying Bayindir needs a rest. I feel like he's just kind of saying, like, it's all basically bullshit. He gave him a shout. Now he's going to be, Sen has to be the starter. Like, based on that performance, he's a starter. And that's where we are.
I mean, it's the best goalkeeping performance we've seen. It wasn't much of an attack coming at United for this game, but I thought the first half of the interview was good because when we win and we play okay, it's easy for Ruben Amorim. He doesn't have to step in any traps, and he just, he called it straight. And when he does call it straight and doesn't, overshare, which he has a tendency to do so, he was steady. He was very that was a fair criticism. We could have pushed on. We didn't play perfect throughout. But they did do some things to kill in the game that showed a little bit more football and IQ later in the game than we have seen. And at the same time, when asked about Lammens, he kind of just make up some bullshit excuse. Yeah, he wasn't. That's viable. But the whole what does that mean? Altai was playing. Was Altai playing well? I don't think Altai was playing well.
No, he has to get out of there.
Somebody was playing. Everybody's always playing. They're football players.
He has to put in this kid because Bayindir is so bad, right?
Yeah, that's why they signed him. That's why they signed him.
And then he also can't say Bayindir is bad, so he has to say that it's rotation, and then he has to say that this and that, and then he has to. It's like
it's a tightrope.
Whatever. He went in. He looked great.
He looked great.
Better. By the way, that was a signing. That's a signing that. Look, I questioned it just because he didn't come in and play. Because I said, "What are we doing? We signed this kid. He should play." And then there was a lot of mumbo jumbo in the press about how we're going to sign another goalie. That kind of adds pressure to him, so maybe the manager's point is valid. But he's in. He's going to be the starter. He looked great.
So he starts for.
Hey,
he starts for
can you catch the ball if it's a corner kick? Bayindir and Onana.
When's the last time we saw
By
that?
the way, Onana is so shaky. Bayindir is so shaky. These guys are so shaky. It's like he's not shaky. So he's in
as a backup.
He's in. Last word on the match. Give us the good.
All right, the good is I think the attack has continued to gel. I thought Mbeumo once again showed a threat, linked up well with the mod. I think that's a partnership that will just grow and grow. Sesko and another scrappy goal, which I love. I love scrappy goals, and I thought it was his best performance to date. And Mount, great goal, high energy throughout. I think earned his place for. I think Cunha was okay, but Mount is hard to drop at this point. Lammens, solid debut, didn't have a ton to do, but steadied the ship, calmed the ball well, and he commanded his area like a true leader, which I think you need to see in your goalkeeper. So he's going to make mistakes. He's going to have dips. We could easily get blitzed by Liverpool, but I think he's a player for the future and another good piece of recruitment.
Does he bring Bayindir in for Liverpool just to have him
I
get
kind of thought that was
crushed?
a move. I thought that was you bring in Bayindir. You could argue that they're kind of they're dangerous. They're a dangerous beast right now because they've lost 2 in a row. They have a great record again. What was the last time we won at Anfield? 10 years ago with Mata. It's been a minute. You don't want Lammens getting cooked, and then we got to play the next game, which I think it's Brighton, another tough team. There's an argument to play Bayindir and just let him get torn to shreds. We'll see. And I think last point is we picked up an important 3 points to calm the storm before the international break.
That's probably the biggest point.
It's just it was we deserved to win. We should a good team should put them to the sword because they weren't on. It wasn't their day.
The bad is,
a good team should be able to give them the bad.
Should we do the bad?
Bad should be
Hey, you
first.
should tweet us. Should the bad be first and finish with the good? I think so.
Maybe.
Hey, the bad. Sunderland, really? Come on. We all know this team could get up for Sunderland at home, but away, Brentford dominated us. Chelsea, red card. Long throws. Are we really a long throw team?
We scored off one. We finally scored off one.
Did Amorim come in? Do we hire Amorim to play long throws? No. We are not seeing the level of dominance and possession that this system needs in order for it to survive in the league. It's still pretty open for my liking, and Sunderland, with one tactical adjustment, pretty much shut down everything we were doing. And that's a championship manager. Obviously, they signed a lot of players, but let's be honest, next time we play them, they're not going to make that same mistake. So it's good to get the wins when we can. All eyes on Liverpool, but, there are questions to be asked, and that's why you should celebrate. We should enjoy it, but I'm not going to lie, if I don't have some voices in the back of my head being it's curb stomp City, Anfield away, and then we have also Brighton, Tottenham. We have some hard games coming up, so let's all just batten down the hatches.
They're all hard. It's EPL. No games off. No, nowhere to hide. Anfield, goddamn. It's like I would.
So I tried to
I'm
do.
nervous. I'm nervous. What are the odds?
Real quick, I did a breakdown of all the stats, trying to figure out where Sunderland ranked from an advanced stats perspective and how we should feel about it.
Look at this guy.
I can zoom it. If you're listening to the podcast, I'll do the best I can to describe it. I built a chart based on XG.
This is our XG that we created against them.
Yeah. So our RXG is the x-axis. The y-axis is actually field tilt, and then the size of the bubble is possession. And so in the bottom left corner, like the worst game we played by far was Man City. We created 0.14 XG.
It's not even on the barely,
The field tilt was 9% to United, and the possession was 26%. And Man City's not even like playing that great. So when this system came up against like a proper team, we were just absolutely dominated in every single stat. Chelsea, you have to kind of take with a grain of salt. So the only game we really truly dominated was Burnley. It was a 3-2 win, so it was more nervy than it should have been. But
If
the
you remember that
advanced
game,
stat,
if you remember that game, remember we should have scored way more goals. We gave up shit goals. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, but the advanced stat shows like that was like a proper dominant performance. And then Arsenal was almost in that range where you're seeing, Arsenal was 58% field tilt, 61% possession. That's a solid, like, hey, we have the ball, we're going at them. That's what you should expect United at home, 60% of the ball, 60% of the tilt. We're going at them. And Sunderland, Brentford, those are more in the 50s. And that is what makes it nervous. Fulham, we can agree, was not a great performance. You could see the field tilt for Fulham was 37%. So Fulham was just like in our third, dominating us on the ball. And for me, I like field tilt a lot because it really tells you where the attacking impetus is. And when you're looking at Sunderland 50-50 and Brentford 50-50, the theme of this season is we're creating more XG. On average, our average XG in the league is 2.41, but our field tilt is 48%, and our possession is about 50% even. That's not that great because of what it's telling me is we're creating a lot of XG, but we're giving up quite a bit because the other team is getting chances, and if you can see that in the XG conceded as well, and we're not just dominating. We need more control in matches, and I think ultimately we are generating the XG, but we're losing control, and against big teams like the Scouse Bastards and City, like you're going to get stomped, and so it's a mixed bag of results, and at the end of the day, the judgment on Ruben Amorim is that we're not seeing a consistent trend in one direction or the other. Like, yes, you can say XG merchants are out there. It's there. But if you look deep into the advanced stats, we're really giving up a lot more than we should be to be creating it. And I feel like it's a real mixed bag of performances across the board. Great performance against Arsenal. Great performance against Burnley. Fulham, not great. City, not great. So you're not even seeing, hey, Arsenal and City were not good. Against lower teams, we're better. It's just all over the board. It's very inconsistent. It's very chaotic. And I think that's why there's so much anxiety around this team and this manager. So just trying to put the Sunderland result in a little more context versus just the Muppet gut feel here. And I think we're seeing quite the diversity in results under Ruben Amorim.
We are. I mean, I think you're definitely seeing some themes, right? The XG is higher, but we're still underperforming. I think the chart I saw today was that we still have the highest amount of underperformance of versus XG versus actual goals of anyone in the league thus far. So Fulham, even with a 3 XG, we scored one. I think we scored 1 goal in that game. So not doing enough. That's the inconsistency. We're also, like you said, wide open a lot of times. We're giving up a lot of XG to get a lot of XG. So
we have a -2 goal differential. So think about it. That's also, it's the chaos. It's chaotic. We don't have our arms around it. The Mason Mount change is huge. We don't know our best 11. This is what the stat line shows me.
Every 11's different.
We have a lot of attackers. We're wide open. Midfield's an issue, and you don't know what you're going to get with this team. It's like a box of chocolates. Liverpool could be like the first win at Anfield in 10 years. It could be like the Ole, like death kneel. You have no idea what you're going to get with this team, and this is what the stat line shows. And I think that's why fans are a little cautiously optimistic about this squad. Next segment, we're going to get into the blame game here. Ruben Amorim going back and forth with Gary Neville in the press, I think is really interesting. So while we had a good result against Sunderland, the manager, he steps on his own feet here in the press, and he's talking about his system and the players and the press. And we saw a little bit of that earlier with the pressure in the press conference. He was quoted before Sunderland saying, "My biggest problem is that my players believe in you guys when you say the problem of our team is the system. This team played in a different system for many years, and you were talking about the lack of identity, no idea whatsoever, so it's not the system. I understand what people think. What would this team be different in a different system? I don't know. Maybe the team would win more games, but if we don't change certain things, we're not going to win titles. If we change for 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, and that is my point with the players. Not with you. I don't want to change my mind, but my players, I guarantee you, they're listening to you, all those opinions, and they're putting that inside because we're not winning games, and they have to believe in me because I watch more games than you guys combined." So Ruben Amorim is saying, stop making fun of my system. It hurts my feelings, and my players are very upset about it. What do you think about this tactic from Ruben Amorim?
I don't think I'd quite surmise it that way, but he's certainly saying, like, the system isn't the problem. The players are the problem. The mentality is the problem. I do agree. I think that's a bigger problem.
Bro, you can't say
But
that.
just let me finish.
I'm just saying you can't say.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't say that, but that's not exactly
can't
what he
say
said.
that.
He said what he said is my system's not the problem. The players, the mentality is the problem, because if we played a different system, they would still be let down. The difference is that this system exposes the areas we're not strong in and exposes our weaknesses even more so. And when we're going for a goal in a final where we're playing this dog shit team and you keep an extra defender on for the entire game, that is not putting your team in the best position to take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. So this is the stuff where he can't help himself, sir. I don't.
But he's not saying that. He's not saying what you just say. He says the opposite of it.
He says they believe in you guys. That it's not. He says the system is not the problem. What he's saying is the system is not the problem. It's the mentality. I mean, that's what he's saying.
So
no identity, no idea whatsoever.
no. So my view is that the system is the problem. People
a
have
problem.
done extensive analysis of why. I do agree.
It's not the only problem. There are multiple problems. It is
for
a
him,
problem.
but he's
definitely.
yeah. So he's saying it's not the problem. Like that's what I'm
I
trying
think
to.
he's saying it's not the major. It's not a no. He's saying it's not a problem at all.
Yes,
because obviously he
that's
believes very
ridiculous.
strongly. He thinks his.
That's ridiculous. It's clearly a problem. We're getting overrun in midfield. We
He's
don't
the
have
coach.
control
He's a
of
stubborn
games.
bastard, sir. He's
That's
stubborn.
what this. Look, I like Ruben Amorim.
He's stubborn as shit.
By the way,
he's gonna bury himself because of his own stubbornness.
Here's the thing.
He's more stubborn than Erik ten Hag.
we talk about managers here, right? I like Ruben Amorim. Like, I want him to succeed. Erik ten Hag, not my cup of tea. Like, you listen to this
He was
pod,
nobody's cup of tea.
not my cup of tea. But this is some Erik ten Hag bullshit, bro. Saying the reason why the players don't believe in my system is because you, the press,
No, I think-
are writing about the system in a negative way, and I know more than you, and it's not the system. That is fucking. I have never heard
I watch
something
more games
worse
than you guys
from a
combined.
manager.
That's like come on.
I've never the only thing that comes to mind.
never hear anything
you
worse
really-
for a manager.
The only thing that comes this right here, and we talk about dead man walking, bro. The only thing that compares to this is when Louis Van Gaal printed out the long ball stats and handed them out to the press. That's his outlandish saying.
Yeah, he won at Anfield. He won at Anfield. He did.
So, by the way, if you tell the English press because you're saying mean things about my system,
you come
what
up
are they
with
going to
crazy-
do?
they go
All of a
after-
sudden, write nice
they're-
things about your system?
They're going to rip his face off. You look at we beat Sunderland.
Bro, this is
before
United. This is Manchester United. You have to.
that's what he doesn't
You're
know.
under attack. You're under siege.
Yeah, they hate us.
The press
They
are
hate us.
coming
They
for you
hate
from
us.
every angle.
They hate
It's
you.
not. You don't tell them. You tell the players. You tell the players. Don't listen to the press. We're doubling down. You got to worry about the players. You don't worry about like saying the players read you saying negative things and then they think negative about it. That is such a soft. This makes you look soft. It makes you look weak. It makes you look at the end of the line. This is just not, and it just gives more fuel to the press. I like the guy, but this is mashed potatoes. This is bad. You don't say it. You have to call it out. This is the worst thing he said. Sans the Manchester United's worst team in history. Like that was you could forgive that
was
because
early.
that's just
That was
like,
early.
hey, he's just saying Grimsby was bad.
What did
This is not great.
What did Neville say? I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but I also don't care as much about what he says. But he also says too much.
I've never heard a
He says
manager
too
say
much.
that.
I've never heard
that.
say a lot of these, but like they won.
Like blaming the
So
press.
he's not going to
for
last. We all want him to last. Everybody at this club.
No,
Everybody at
I'm
this
just
pod
being like
wants
it's
him to last.
worth like I hate. By the way, talking on the podcast about what a manager says reminds me of Mourinho because it became that. It became a thing
I
where
know,
Mourinho was always saying shit.
I know.
and we're always talking about it. And that's also not a good look. And I feel like Gary Neville came back on his podcast. We're going to listen to what he had to say.
What do you make of the fact that it's the fault of you and all your fellow pundits that have got into the players' heads for talking about the system?
What?
That's what Ruben Amorim claimed.
Right,
the pundits had got into his players' heads with all this talk about the system, and the system wasn't the problem.
All right, I've not seen that, to be honest with you. I've not got a lot of time for that. I think if you're, well, for a start, if pundits are getting into your head, then you shouldn't be playing for the club. Simple as that. I mean, do people not remember Alan Hansen criticising us when we broke in as young kids, saying that you can't win anything with kids? That was the greatest centre-back of all time at that moment. You know, the most successful centre-back of all time, talking about us as if we were, you know, inferior and nowhere near good enough. Do they not think that we got criticised during our football careers? I'm sorry, you're playing for Manchester United. It comes with the territory. You've got to step up, and you've got to basically. And look, they've been hopeless in the system. They've been absolutely hopeless. So I mean, all right, it's not the system, it's you, the players. We can start just battering the players. I mean, I've mentioned the system because I've not liked certain things that I've said. For instance, you know, Mason Mount playing left wing back. That can't happen. Changing the back three all the time. That two in midfield means that, you know, Bruno's got to play in midfield. I don't like that aspect of it. So the parts of the system are a problem in the sense that they haven't got the right players, you know, or it's meaning that Bruno's not in his best position.
It's fair, sir. You had something to say about it.
No, I don't. I think the big thing to take away from this is like, bro, this is the bright lights. Like, you know, we all knew the bright lights were too bright for David Moyes when he, maybe now, but like when he joined in 2013, it was like he was so out of his element. And the thing I think, and we both want him to succeed. We're both fearing the inevitability of the sack that will come in weeks, months, or whatever. It's coming. When these players give up on him, because they're the ultimate problem is mentality at the club has gotten rotten. This is making it worse, but it's so obvious that like dude, this is too bright, bro. It's just too bright. It's like he was like the head coach of what, the biggest team, or even the second biggest team in Portugal, and now he's one of the manager of the biggest club in the world, and he's not used to these fucking these pundits coming after him. And Gary Neville's like a pseudo-friendly. They come after him constantly. Waves of criticism, and he bites it every time, bro.
He's getting punched in the face over and over.
But he takes it.
Everything Gary Neville says is right.
It's true.
Like Mason Mount playing left wing back. It's changing the how many times he puts on center backs is the most outlandish thing I've ever seen. And by the way, it's not going great. So, and it's like why say the lengths he's going to defend it is a little crazy. And he should say, look, valid criticism, but this is my belief and I'm sticking to it and we're bought in and I'm backed by the board. So smoke you. That's a better answer than like my players feel bad when they read things. I just feel like it's just you got to have media training. You got to know what to say. You got to keep it easy because he doesn't need to go into that because you get a win. And then like, you don't need to say anything. Let the results do the talking. Less is more with Ruben Amorim right now, especially when you're on the hot seat. And I just feel like the mic, the pressers, like you said, the lights can get a little bright and they have gotten, or he's just so emotional that he just gets caught out on the weekly or the monthly. And we had a Portuguese manager who did the same at the end. It was getting tough. He kind of lashed out.
I mean, he's young, and that sometimes goes the other way, right? He doesn't have the wisdom of an older gentleman who's seen it, been through it. Like, he's so new to the game. He's only 40 years old. He's a kid. He's like us. You know, he's like, he hasn't had the experience of playing in different leagues, winning in different leagues. He hasn't won in different leagues. He's won in one league, and it's a second-tier league, to be honest. And this is a big step up. And I think he's too emotional. I think that's the biggest takeaway. Is like he just takes everything he can grab onto, every fight he leans into. You know, like I would come up with this analogy with my brother who like gets advice with my mom. It's like if there's like a roadkill, if there's like an animal driving on the road, like he'll veer into it. I won't go out of the way to hit it. And I feel like every time there's something he can like take a fight, he just like, well, that guy said it, Simon Stone. It just let it go, water off the back. And that is not in any way to do it because that's what Mourinho was doing at the end.
Yeah, pundits are coming from you. It's Manchester United. Let's go.
They hate us.
Sack odds.
What are the odds?
Sack odds last week. Amorim favorite. Now it's Ange Postecoglou.
Who hasn't had a win?
You like Ange.
Never liked Ange.
You like. I know you hate Ange. Hey, like
terrible.
people like managers, they don't like managers. Amorim right now, 3 times your money for the next sack.
It's close though. By the way, there's a huge delta between the first two, and then Fark, the Leeds manager, is
it's big because it's the next sack. So I think the leak around Amorim's clause and like November, and obviously the crazy Nottingham Forest Greek guy,
and he's not
who
won
just
a game.
like shows
he has
up.
not won one game.
He shouldn't have fired Nuno. Fired him.
No, he shouldn't have.
Of course, that was going to go bad.
He's not a very good. I stand by that. I think
beat
he
Manchester
traded
United
up, bro.
in a final.
Yeah, we were terrible.
And,
we were
by
terrible.
the way,
we were
like
terrible.
that was a smash and grab.
It
Won
was.
the Europa
It was.
League, $100 million.
And he traded
guy.
up. He got a better team, arguably.
I can't talk. I don't like. You're right. He's stubborn too.
Yeah,
Another crazy stubborn guy who plays like just high line, won't give it up even if he's a man down.
Fiery pressers, like the pressers that are often notable and often news on their own.
But let's talk about Ruben Amorim. Look, hey, we're not like being overly negative here, but I'm also not going to pretend that we're not on this like slide. Manchester United has not been performing well, and we have some big games coming up. So we could pull that up here real quick on Manchester United and wrong Google here. All right,
Here we go.
What do we got here?
We got Liverpool. Then we got Brighton.
Brighton at home, right? So it's Liverpool, Brighton at home, Nottingham Forest. They're gonna.
They might have a new coach. They might have a new coach by then. They're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce.
New manager bounce. Then Tottenham, Everton, Crystal Palace. Like that's a real tough run if you actually want to think about it.
Really good. They just lost their first game. Everton are flying. They beat Palace. Grealish is off. Tottenham aren't playing great, but they're always dangerous. Dude, there's no easy teams. There's no unless you're playing Wolves, who we don't play till December,
or West Ham.
West Ham are an easier, would be considered an easier game, but
yeah, but Nottingham. Like, think about it. We're back to we're talking about the sack. We're talking about kind of where we've come from, and I think the chart that I put together was good because it's very sporadic, and even like the best fans can't pick where we're headed. I thought for sure the players are starting to give up on Ruben Amorim. They came out against and that's not a good thing, but they came out and they backed him, which is good. Liverpool is probably a tough loss. They're going to be in a big bounce back spot. Brighton at home, Herzler. That's, to be honest, if we're talking like finding the mark, that's going to be a difficult game for United. Nottingham Forest should be a win, and Tottenham, I'm just going to be like Thomas Frank.
Away. They're both away, though. Forest away, Spurs away. No,
if you get 3 points from those 4, it's going to be hard. In my honest opinion, it's going to be hard for Amorim to keep his job. Like if you're past November 1st is
what from what?
3 points from 4. If you're really thinking about it, like Liverpool, Brighton, and Tottenham could easily be losses. You should be beating Nottingham Forest, even though it's away. They're a good team.
You should be beating Brighton at home. You should be getting at least a point at Forest. You should be getting a point at Spurs. It all depends on the manner.
You got to be better than that. Like this team has to win. We got to like that. November 1st is when it apparently Sakium goes down, and I have to be honest.
I mean, we could go winless until West Ham. And West Ham's December 3rd. You could easily not get a win against Liverpool, Brighton, Forest, Spurs, Everton, who are now playing pretty good. Palace, who are a very good team. And then you play at home again against. I mean, like you could easily be that. You could be interim.
No, but he's going to be. He'll be fired if that's the case. I think if you lose all 3, if
you lose to Brighton at home,
my view on it is like he's already gone. Like that's my view.
Yeah,
I have not changed my view. That I don't view that as a harsh view. I just think right now we need a flexible manager who will play to the squad and play the best team and play the most friendly formation because we just don't have a full team and we really don't have a lot to work with. And Amorim being stubborn and gaslighting the press is just increasing the pressure. And United just need to keep it simple and just focus on maybe chipping up to 5th, 6th, try to get a shout at Conference League.
Yeah.
And this is a good team. I think we can, but with Amorim, all the attention, all the emotionality, and just the stubbornness around the system, I think it's holding us back. And until we see a consistent improvement towards the good, if it's just that random set of results with like a ton of XG with -2 goal differential, that's not going to be enough to get United to that position. And we are in 8th. But I don't know. I still think it's pretty nervy for them, and I look at the next couple fixtures as a tall order.
Hey, if he turns it around, if he gets a win, if he gets a draw at Liverpool, beats Brighton, beats Forest, I don't think it's going to happen. These are tough games.
No, these are pretty
tough. These are tough matches.
It's the vibes for me are like it's end game.
And the worm has already turned. It's like it's kind of already been a foregone conclusion. Here's the thing.
I'm not trying to be overly negative either. I'm just trying to call it straight.
How many managers have we seen fired in this freaking club since we've started this pod?
No,
I mean that's just real.
It's like when you break up with a girlfriend. It's like you realize you need to break up with her, but you don't do it that minute.
You're like, well, we gotta break up that weekend away. We're going to Montreal. Like we gotta
trip.
I can't cancel the Airbnb now. Who's gonna want to go to Montreal with me?
Going with my boys. Like it's
I'll
like
break up with her that weekend. It's the weather's turning.
You know something. And then you see like there was a game there.
By the way, we would be better. This team, you could put together a decent 4-2-3-1.
And then you kind of you're bargaining, and then you just
and then you get married, and then it's 20 years later.
You need too much confirmation, honestly, and I feel like Ineos. If I was running the club, it would already be done, and it would already be done.
But
it would already be done.
Run will tell you.
And by the way, you should be doing it for the best. For the best.
They should line it up for November 2nd.
This is not an opinion.
Save the $8 million for the other buyout.
But this is not an opinion. This is not me trying to hate on a guy. He does not deserve hate. It's like Manchester United can get Europe this year, and we need a competent EPL proven manager who can do it, and someone who's more flexible and looks at the team and says, what is the best lineup and formation I can get out of these existing players over a long season, and that's the guy we need to go with. And Amorim and this system and this stuff, we just got to, hey, it's not working out. I'm sorry. You're great. It's me.
It's not you.
It's not you. It's me.
Sir.
It's Manchester United. We're the fault.
I'm not a football tactician by any means, but I've watched enough of this game to know that like we have a much better 4-2-3-1 than this three at the back. Like you could play Kobe Mainu, you could play Cunha, you could play Bruno, you could play Sesko.
It'll be better.
No, it'll be better. Better enough that you could finish in the top 8.
Dude, you could get some mojo. You could beat these teams.
We have two really good. You could play Euro and Delit, Dogu. I don't know who the right. The problem is like you got my Delo.
Gary Neville said it. You're playing your best player out of position. I don't want to be like Bruno has to play 10, but this season he has to play 10.
But imagine how good at 10 he would be with
Ahmad
Brian and Mbeumo, or Ahmad on the right, or Brian and Mbeumo and Cunha and Sesko up front. You can rotate those players all you want. You could play freaking.
Dude, you have guns off
Mount
the bench
in the holding two against like lower tied opposition with Kobe playing next to it. There's so many things you could do. Three at the back.
It'd be so much more exciting. It's like I'm just wait.
It's coming, dude.
Like
it's
like.
It's coming.
But Amorim's got but you have to give it to him. He has the aura, dude. Like he has it. He had it.
He had it. I don't know if he's got it anymore. That aura.
He still does. He commands a top European side.
He'll get another job.
Like Ten Hag, I was like, he'll not do anything. Like he's a guy who was like, he'll go on and do nothing.
Fired already.
I saw him and I was like, clearly he was propped up by Ajax, and there's not a lot there. Ruben Amorim is a guy with the right team.
He won 2 cups.
Ruben Amorim with the right team and ownership behind him, he can go do things. Like if he went to Chelsea, I think that's a place that he could do well. Like something like that is the right fit for him. United in a rebuild is not the place for him.
If he joined Arsenal when Arteta joined him, a system set up that has like a front office put in place. Exactly. They know what they're doing. They don't have $1 billion of debt hanging around their neck.
We don't have a goalie, bro. It's like
we got Senne Lammens.
Like I know, but you get what I'm saying. Like we're just a little bit of a mess, and so that's what we're not. Hey, trying to keep it 100 here on the pod.
Very positive headed into the international break.
No, but we're keeping it 100 because what are we supposed to do? Be like sack him 1 week? Now everything's great? Like no, let's be honest. Like we're like short of a just amazing run that we have never won 2 in a row. We've never got on it yet. Like it's most likely the end of the line. It feels like that to me with the presser stuff. And, we're just going to see if this trend doesn't change.
West Ham? I mean, I don't know. Does he make it? Probably not. That's the bet, is like West Ham.
I don't think he makes it to January. That's just my gut.
No, we're going in January. I don't think it makes it to January. We'll see. Anyway, enough about the manager getting fired as we come off our first clean sheet of the season. Speaking of which, let's talk about a player who had involvement in that clean sheet, Senne Lammens. If that's how you say his name, we'll figure it out over time.
Senne Lammens.
Senne Lammens.
But everyone just calls him... Do you call him Senne?
Didn't he call him Sen?
He called him Sen. But it's Senne Lammens.
All I know is the way he makes me feel when he goes and grabs the ball out of the air from a corner, because that's what matters. He didn't have much to do. We were largely in control. Low XG. They had less than 1 XG in the game all day. Really 2 good saves he had to make. I thought the Xhaka save was actually a good one because it was kind of a swerver. Xhaka has a cannon.
It was confident. It was
what it was confident, and it was calming. The past 2 keepers we've had have been such scrambled eggs. They've been such all over the place, deer in headlights. This guy, he's a young kid, but he looks a player. I'm excited about him. It's a big position to be in. I don't think they should throw him right into Anfield. I think that's a really question. Like, Bayern Deer, hey,
No,
you're
he
up, bro.
should
Like, you're the horse that gets just beaten up, and then we bring Lammens back for the home game against Brighton. That's probably it.
No, but once you see him between the sticks, I think it's his job. I think you give it to him. The intensity, the shouting, just the command he had was good. He looked calm. He looked like it looked like the shirt was light on him.
Yeah.
Like Onana was jittery
Jittery
and
from day one.
Bayern is a little off. And he just looked smooth. It looked smooth, just the way he claiming the ball from across. What that did to they must have been
people were
I
cheering.
I saw that.
People were cheering.
I saw that as a fan. I was like, oh
so
my,
pumped.
thank God.
That's what it looks like.
The feeling I had when he just grabbed it, I was like, oh my God.
No, he does the fundamentals
Thank
well.
you.
Fundamentals
Thank you.
well.
And so I'm glad
Welcome.
he surprised the upside, and should have probably been brought in earlier, but it's never too late. And I think you got to start him he's number 1. He's got to be number 1 from here on out. Weird that 2 weeks ago Amorim was saying we need another number 1. That didn't make sense to me. Then we go to him. Something's going on behind the scenes, but I'm glad we did. And it looks like we have a proper player there. And what better way to be introduced to the league than a rebuild type season? You know what I mean? De Gea came in, he made errors. He had a year that he got killed. He looked like the physical side wasn't too much for him. It's too much for Bayern Deer. He's getting bullied in the box. Onana's getting bullied, and he looked like he was up for the challenge. So I think we should put him in the fire. I say put him in the fire because I think you have to see this year if he's the man, because then you got to sign the man.
And you know what is you're going to have games where you're peppered. Even when we're on the up and up, even if we're playing better football, they're going to have games where Liverpool get 2, 2.5, 3 XG, and that you need a goalkeeper who's going to keep you in that match. And you know what? There's only one way to find out. The same way that Benjamin Sesko, we're finding out if he's the guy, or at least the leading guy going forward. You blood him in a difficult team where we haven't found our feet yet. I've come around. I think Lammens should start against the Scouse Bastards, because you know what? If we do have a day, he could be the guy who keeps us in it, right? If we have a day and all of a sudden Bayern Deer's mashed potatoes again, he could be the guy that gets us out of it, because we've seen that through that XG games. Some of these games already this season have been decided because of goalkeeping errors or exasperated because of goalkeeping errors. So welcome to Manchester United. Looks a solid piece of recruitment.
All right, let's get to the worst take of the week. Worst take of the week is Sky Sports. Jamie Redknapp defending Florian Wirtz. Let's get into this one.
You can then bring on Wirtz if you need him for 25, 30 minutes. So I can fully understand this decision, because that midfield was fantastic last year. It has a little bit of everything. And Florian will become a top player for Liverpool. Make no mistake. And I think everyone's judging him miles too early. Players need time. Some players come into this league and they find it so easy. Others, it takes a little bit of time. Ryan Gravenberch is a great example. It took him a year. The next year, now we're all talking about him as one of the best midfield players in the world. And that's how...
Look, Florian Wirtz.
We are? We're talking about we are?
Look, not great for Wirtz. 9 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. Most expensive English Premier League signing of all time. And what's amazing, if you want to know the anti-Manchester United agenda, if we had signed the most expensive player of all time and they were this big of a dud, sure as shit, nobody's going to be defending him on Sky Sports.
And this is not just a Jamie Redknapp thing. And there, he got some things that could be true. He could turn out to be a decent player, but what you just said is absolutely
most expensive?
True. No, what you just said is so. He comes from a different league. He's young. It's that goatee.
You have to make impact.
Facial hair is
most expensive, instant impact.
Facial hair is a red flag. Pogba did make an instant impact. He was flying as soon as he came in. The thing is this: there is an anti-United bias, and there's also a bias to protect certain clubs, and no club is more protected in English football than fucking Liverpool by Sky Sports, by NBC Sports. They all do it. And Jamie Redknapp, he's a former Red. They love it because they all hire each other.
Yeah, but here's the thing: didn't they wear the Suarez shirts? The stuff
reproach.
that they did. I mean, this is a slimy claw. Everybody knows it. But they're not known for their virtue, sir. I mean, they're kind of rats. It's we played them back in the day. It's it was brutal. It was and the Suarez thing. Then they all wore shirts to support the guy. There's just
Wasn't
not
there
like
a Danglish
now.
incident
There's
to-
like
so
there's
they're
like
not-
all this
we don't
stuff.
like 'em.
It's just very like they're
But they are
you know,
protected. They're protected by the media. I think they're also protected by the FA. I mean, if you see some of the refereeing decisions, stoppage time games where they need a goal, they get 11 minutes. Stoppage games where they're holding on against everything, they get 3 minutes. It's just like
Hey,
they're-
Andy Carroll.
They're
that's all I
very
gotta say.
obvious. I mean, they're very obvious at this point. But anyway, Jamie Redknapp, worst take of the week.
Worst take of the week.
I like
worst
that,
take of
sir.
the worst take of the week. Let's jump into some fan questions. Here we go. We're in it. This is not the right fan question, sir. Let's pull it up here.
Well, we do it live. We do it live, sir. Here we are. Manchester United, best pod in the world, best team in the world. We'll be back. Go to the profile. We got it. I think this is going to be the year where we don't get a manager fired, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right, at D_Cole18, lads, it's Sunderland, but it's 3 points. Goals for money amount. And Sesko, signs of life for Amorim. Lammens looks like the number one. I swear if we see Bayern again, I'll lose it. I feel like we're Licha coming back an actual CDM away from having an 11. Still not a fan of the summer transfers. Look, it's close. Licha is November. Lammens, Bayern, the argument there is to have him get shelled against the Scouse
Just get
Bastards.
cooked.
But I think Lammens should be number one. I agree here.
I think you just throw him in. It's like he's a player of the future. Bayern is not a player of the future. So whether it's under this manager or the next, the experience of getting cooked at Anfield is something that he needs to do at some point in his career. We've all been through it. So I agree. Just put him in the fire, just like Sesko. Put him in the fire. Get the reps. Get the reps against Van Dijk. Why not?
At KGL Joel, quote, maybe not entertaining, but job well done. Sesko, Lammens integrated. Mbumo, Diallo, lively. I take the positives with me, but have no expectations for the Liverpool match, unfortunately. I think you speak for all of us. Like it's a how many times we're going to go to Anfield and say, let's not get embarrassed. Like that's as the biggest club in the world say, hey, let's not just get demolished.
We've been saying that for 10 years now. 10 years.
Probably 5. Since Ole, getting embarrassed first. Also, the Scouse Bastards, they've been talking up kind of getting after us, and they haven't got after us in a while.
No, every time they talk it up, it's closer. Every time we think it's going to be closer, it's fucking blowout. So that makes me worried about this one because they come in with 2 losses. This is when we get stumped.
At Randy Scrandy L, Sunderland at Old Trafford, almost guaranteed W. Impressed we didn't mess that up today. Another Sesko goal. Lammens look good. Big picture doesn't change. Still need a new manager. Don't be fooled by the last 90 minutes. Look, Randy, we're shooting you straight. We talked about it. Look, it's trending that way. Don't need to dance on the guy's grave. Let's just see how it goes. But, you'd be crazy to think all of a sudden we're going to turn around, especially against the fixtures we just went through. Hey, I'm a Muppet. I hope we do. I'll be tuning in. But, we just have this, voice in the back of our head. It's like, don't trust them. Don't trust them. At Fairway Freddy, standards and expectations are so low that a boring 2-0 win at home against a promoted team is somehow a turning point. This whole shit show is just one great team sleepwalking into mediocrity. Are we the best at anything? How soon until we can challenge, sir? How soon?
We're at what?
2025.
2025. So 2026 is the soonest we could challenge with this season. That's 13 years after our last one. I still think we have another decade. I still think Ineos are going to fuck it up for another 2 to 5 years, forced to sell a sovereign or private equity player, or hopefully a tech guy, like some rich tech guy who's into United who just fell on 100 billion. I hope he's our savior because that's in some way better than sovereign, but I think it's going to be a sovereign. And then they'll take 5 to 7 years to figure it out. I think it's a decade, personally. But what do you think?
Yeah, not before 2030. If it's under 20 years since our last title, I think that's Liverpool is 30.
It's gonna be at least 20.
The problem is the farther it gets away, we're already in that
we're miles. We've never been further away than we are today.
In 2012-13, it's you really had to win the next one in the next 5 years, and if you didn't, it was going to be 30. You really had to get it right out of the gate.
And we absolutely got it wrong.
and
we did everything wrong. It's 2030.
We've talked about a lot in this podcast, and so if we were challenged, if we had a title race, and we have had
we were 18 points behind.
We had 3 weeks of a race.
That's right.
It
was fun.
We had
those weeks we were flying high. Ole's at the
That's
wheel,
what it's
baby.
about.
That was great.
That's
what
it's
January
about.
lasted like,
It's what it's about.
I've had colds that lasted longer.
Hey, we had the best midfield in the league away at Arsenal with Eriksson, Casemiro, and Bruno. That was the best midfield in the league for about like 6 weeks until Cass started getting those red cards.
The legs.
Like we had some moments, we had some moment. That's also something we got to talk about. It's not all doom and gloom. The last 18 months, like watching Erik ten Hag fade and then come back like 3 seasons. I think that's why this is such a tough moment for fans because it's been three seasons realistically. Because Erik ten Hag didn't do well, should have been fired, was brought back. Then Amorim just destroyed the season. Now he's back. It's not great. It's like it has been 2 straight years of shit results. We're talking bottom table football for Manchester United and not a lot of hope in sight. So that's why it sucks. It's like I felt like you had some more. Erik ten Hag gave us some highs. Ole gave us some highs. Amorim,
nothing. Lows. Ole gave us highs.
We got aura though. We got aura from Amorim.
I like some of the signings.
He's young.
He's the first manager that's not picking the signings. So
he's the best looking manager.
He's the coolest. He's the coolest. He's the one I want to hang out. You think I want to hang out with Erik ten Hag?
He's got the best outfits.
Ole's kind of a weird
guy.
Both the Portuguese guys I want to hang out with.
Yeah, Mourinho and Amorim. Let's
also Van Gaal will be fun to have a pint with. Like that guy's all right. Anyway, that's how we sign off. How long until we challenge? 20, 30 years.
Hey, we're going to be here the whole way, not giving up on this team week in and week out. International break, we're going to give a special interview for you this week. Next podcast drops the following Monday. You want to get into the fan questions, we drop that on Twitter at USA Red Devils. You can support us. We have a store, AmericDevils.store. Newsletter, sign up. It's free. You get all the top Manchester United news stories in your inbox every single week, AmericDevils.com/newsletter. Check it out. Sign up, sir. Give us our top 10 cities last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Dublin, Ireland, Oslo, Norway, New York, Brooklyn, New York, Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, and last but not least, Sydney, Australia. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you. Always darkest for the dawn. Always darkest for it's pitch black. Hey, you got to win. You got a clean sheet. Does he get the Ruben Amorim song? Why not, sir? How much longer are you going to be singing this song for?
Ruben Amorim, baby. Let's go.
Bring the glory days again. We're working for the strength within. It's in the resurrection.